We have just two more parts left in my favorite demos of Steam Next Fest of February 2026. The list is finally coming close to an end, but don't you worry, we got plenty more indie games to cover for this year. And with that, let's take a look at our latest selection of fantastic demos and games you should be keeping an eye out for later this year. We're beginning with Clicky Islands. This is an incremental city builder where you've been tasked to found colonies for the kingdom. And you're going to be collecting a lot of resources and doing a lot of upgrades along the way. How this one works is that you'll be given an island and you'll click on resources in order to harvest them, and then you'll construct the various homes, which the settlers you get can then be set up to auto farm the various resources. As you get enough resources, you'll be able to upgrade kind of your home building. This will unlock the next tier of buildings, including access to more resources and more. Your ultimate goal is to reach different metrics in terms of founding your colony. When you've gone as far as you can leave the island, and this sets up the meta progression, where you'll be able to use your kind of meta points in order to unlock new tiers for your village, new bonuses, new starting conditions, etc., etc. And one thing that I like about the game is that it features challenges you can go for to get bonus points, and is basically your way of advancing up the meta side even faster. As the game continues, you'll be able to find and equip artifacts and provide even more bonuses. And this again is just the challenge of how quickly and efficiently you can optimize your islands to go up the meta progression as fast as you can. And I found this one to be very satisfying to play. This is not going for like super involved like city building sim style, and kind of falls more in line with the like focus on resource management that something like the Anno games is known for. So this one is certainly going to be for the incremental / city building fans. I'm certainly looking forward to playing more of this one when it is released. We have a very different kind of management up next with Data Center. This is another business / job simulator game where this time you are running a data center. You can set up servers, hubs, connect lots and lots of network cables and more in order to keep your business afloat. So this one is definitely designed for a very particular audience. If you love the idea of making sure all your IP addresses are right and everything is connected properly with some nice and neat and organized cables, this is going to be the game for you. As someone with absolutely horrible short-term memory and cannot memorize an IP address to save my life, this is not going to be the game for me. I do wish the onboarding was a little bit better for, again, people who are not familiar with the toils and challenges of network management. But if you fall into the category of someone looking for a game to simulate this particular style, this is going to be certainly something well up your alley. For me, I may just be more in line to just call it IT instead. And now we go to Mysteries of Old Tokyo. This is another deductive reasoning style game, much in the style of The Root Trees Are Dead or Return of the Obra Dinn. You have been hired by a company in Tokyo, who your mission is to catalog the history, buildings, and more of Tokyo, and also help various ghosts and other supernatural beings who are apparently stuck in the city and area. So we're going back to the 90s era of computers and investigating. Each week you are given various tasks to achieve. The basic idea is you need to go to a specific area, sometimes a landmark or some other spot in Tokyo, in order to catalog and get the history of it. From there, you'll be able to compare the past and present photos, or present of the 90s, of that location, gathering data on its history and major details. And much like Obra Dinn and Root Trees, you'll need to use that information and also kind of extrapolate out in order to fill out directory listings of it. In certain parts, you'll then have to take this information and use it in order to figure out if the various ghosts are lying about their lives or any details surrounding it. And this one I found to be quite charming, not only having the kind of 90s computer aesthetic, but also using digitized or real photos of Tokyo at various points in its history. As someone who has never visited Tokyo, it's kind of cool to see all that. The game tracks how much money and stamina you spend moving around the area for each week. I don't know if that's going to become a factor in terms of storytelling, game overs, or different endings in the main one, but I found it's going to be quite compelling. If you are a fan of the deductive reasoning style, and always want to take a trip to Tokyo, I would give this one a play. We leave the deductive reasoning behind for our next game with Cicadamata. This is a shooter. You have been conscripted by a strange force. In order to keep yourself alive, you must go to various areas, shoot lots and lots of things, and uncover some strange conspiracies at play. The game feels like a mix between a speedrun shooter like something like, I think it was a Neon Abyss, with a game like Jumping Flash from way back in the day. So you're going to be bouncing, jumping, and shooting all around the environment. You are free to bounce and do multiple jumps and dashes while you're looking for cores to shoot. When you aim down the sights with your gun, this kind of turns on sniper mode to deliver more damage. And you must get through the areas as quickly, as efficiently, and of course as stylishly as you can to get those sweet high scores and time trial challenges. This one definitely raises more questions than it answers as to what you're doing and what is happening, but I did find it to be very compelling to play. I'm curious to see kind of like how involved the finished game is going to be in terms of level design, any kind of bosses, and things like that. It did say you can level your character up, but I didn't notice that actually like changes anything or unlocks new weapons. So if you're in the mood to do some bouncing, shooting around, and wondering just what the heck is going on, I would give this one a play. And now we go to Ignoble. This is kind of a mix between an auto battler and a almost like 2D action game. You are fighting monsters in what appears to be hell, and you must use their blood and other parts in order to power yourself up. Your character will attack enemies automatically once they're in range, and you have a limited number of punches you can do before your character has to rest. When time runs out, or you're killed, you'll take your accumulated blood and other stuff to the skill tree. This will be able to unlock various new features, as well as raising your base stats so you can hit harder, hit more often, unlock ultimate moves, and other features. With your goal is to defeat enough enemies in order to unlock the boss wave. Beat that, and then things will get harder and more interesting from there. I found this one to be quite compelling to play. There's just enough kind of player involvement that it avoids the kind of like turn off your mind aspect that we see from a lot of other like bullet heaven focused titles. And I'm interested to see like how much more there'll be in terms of enemy challenges and other abilities in the finished game. So if you're in the mood to do some punching, I would give this one a try and see if this one will work for you. We leave the punching and blood behind for, well, Scrabble with Beyond Words. This is essentially what if we combine Scrabble with Cilantro. Your goal is to spell out various words. As you use more letters and get more bonuses, you'll be able to improve your score, and your job is to hit the different score thresholds in order to complete the round. After which you can spend money to unlock different multipliers, bonuses, and other rule-breaking things as you try to get further and further in. As someone who is exceptionally horrible when it comes to Scrabble, this is another one of those games, much like Data Center, that is not going to be for me. But the concept is certainly intriguing. If you love your multi-letter bonuses, as well as multipliers and scaling, I would give this one a play. We now go to another puzzle game with Helix, Descent and Ascent. This is a very strange adventure where you are trapped in a very unusual world. And you must use various puzzle mechanics in order to explore it and figure out, are you the good guy, are you the bad guy, what's real, what isn't. All with a very detailed and interesting art style. Each section you'll be given different combinations of kind of powers. And these powers can do everything from creating paths, destroying things, allowing you to manipulate or move around the environment, and more. There are bonus collectibles to find, and this is another game that's just all about not really giving you any answers as to what is happening. I found this one to be very interesting to play. Now, given the mysterious structure, it's hard to tell how advanced the main game is going to get in terms of its puzzle logic. There is a lot to uncover, and I'm interested to see where this is all really going to lead when it is released. So, if you're in the mood to do some very strange and mysterious puzzle solving, I would definitely give this one a try. And now we go to Ware. This is a marble building roguelike as you're playing the ancient game Mancala. Your mission is to place marbles in bowls with the intent to kind of get them into your character, which will then allow you to do attacks and set up special abilities and more. It's a very interesting idea, and one that I'm a little bit confused as to how you're supposed to play it, or kind of an advanced skill, as the AI controls the bowls on the top row while you control the rows on the bottom. And I think it could have done, a little bit better job in terms of onboarding best practices or the advanced play of it. But as you play through, you'll deal with additional enemies, unlock the abilities to upgrade your marbles, granting them additional effects where you place them in bowls, or to use your special abilities. And this one can be quite compelling to play. So, if you're in the mood for a very different kind of deck builder, I would give this one a play. And now we go to Freefall 95. You are stuck in a time loop of your plane crashing. In order to cover the mysteries, you're going to do a lot of tricks, a lot of collecting things while falling, and then of course hitting the ground really hard. The gameplay definitely goes for the arcade score trick style. You'll be able to input different button commands as you're falling to do tricks. Your combo stays alive as long as you're doing new tricks, as well as interacting with all the stuff that's coming out of the plane. There are bonus challenges to achieve, much like in the Tony Hawk games. When you complete enough challenges, you'll be able to unlock the next area. By completing side quests from the various passengers, you'll be able to also get skill points that you can then use to unlock features, such as being able to zoom out more, get radar on upcoming objects, and making it hopefully easier for you to get those sick high scores and combos. It's a very interesting take on the arcade style, and I was definitely getting into this one. It's hard to tell there'll be anything more in terms of mechanics beyond just the fall and trick based systems, but I don't think this game needs too much more in terms of keeping you interested in it. So if you're in the mood to do some score chasing while falling, I would give this one a play. And for the last game of today's video, we're really switching things up tonally with All Will Rise. This is a role-playing narrative adventure in a fictional city. It has been declared, thanks to some legal work, that the river is an actual person, and that it is being murdered by greedy oil companies and of course capitalism. And when an oil disaster happens, the river has now been declared as murdered, and we're going to try and investigate to figure out who did this, why, and maybe get some justice for the land and people around. Our gameplay here is quite unusual. This is not a deck building roguelike, despite the fact that we are of course playing cards right now. Your mission is to explore the city and interact with the various people and your legal team to gather evidence and information about what is happening to the city, to the river, and to its people. As you gather information, this will take in the form of cards that you'll play when you're interacting with people. The idea is you're matching cards to tell a story. So if one card is about the river dying, you can place a card that also involves a river connected to it. When you play cards down, you will gain or lose resources that are based on different emotional states in the bottom left. When either character reaches 40 in an emotional state, they will go on fire. This will unlock access to stronger cards as well as extend the amount of time you have to interact with them. This will allow you to play more cards and try to accomplish the goals that you see in the upper left. You can only do one kind of conversational battle each week, and for the rest of the time, you will send out your various allies to uncover more of the world. As they do more, they'll also raise their own stats up, allowing them a greater chance of completing these challenges, which will in turn give you more information, which can either be used to unlock new cards or upgrade the validity of a card, making it more impactful. And of course, how you decide where to send people, which emotions you want to play with, will greatly affect the story and what your options will be. It's a little hard to learn, I think, at the beginning. A lot of it is the fact that this is not, as I said, a deck builder. You're not going to be able to get like a custom build, and at the beginning, you're going to be very limited because you simply don't have a lot of information out there. And you're supposed to do the evidence gathering and kind of side events first before you do the conversational battles, because you simply don't have the cards in order to go for these goals. And I think the game could do a little bit better job of kind of giving the player an idea of how they should get the ball rolling in terms of their investigation. Still, there really isn't a game quite like it out there, both in terms of tone as well as this form of deck building / role playing. So I would definitely give this one a try if you're looking for a very environmentally friendly and different take on this kind of adventure. And with that, another part comes to an end. We only have one more part left in this series, and then we are done. So as always, let me know what some of your favorite games are from the event. Let me tickle your game for some future coverage. Be sure to reach out. Thanks for watching, and see everyone in the conclusion of this Next Best series coming real soon. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.